what's been going on? A lot. Things have been changing with what's been going on here. First of all, personal life. The bedroom I'm in is not finished yet. It's because we had the carpet measured and ordered. We're just waiting for them on their end for when it's supposed to be delivered and installed and all that. Because it has to be manufactured, then they get it, then it comes and gets installed. But waiting for their end for it before I can finish this lovely, awesome room. Can't wait for that, especially for later on. Because at the end of this month, the 30th, I have a consultation for surgery, bottom surgery, gender confirming surgery, all the different terms you want to call it. But it's basically orchiectomy, vaginoplasty, and vulvoplasty. That's pretty much the surgery I'm getting. All of it all at once down there. Hopefully insurance goes through and everything. So I don't have to try to figure out how to pay for it. Or the insurance pay for part of it, or just hopefully it pays for all of it. So yeah. Let's see here. I'm still using the breast enhancement pumps, which I overdid it, and it made my breasts kind of like that redness, like I could say capillaries or something could have been broken open or something, because it looked like all red and everything. So I had to do less pressure, like pumps, so there's less pressure to get to the same number of the measuring that's on there, to get the same results. And I'm so happy I'm a 32 triple D, and the thing is, I'm trying to get my breasts to a full 32 triple D. And at times I've been noticing that my breasts are almost done growing, but then they go back into a growth state. It's like they're at Tanner stage 5. Nope, they're in a growth state. That's what it keeps doing. That's what it's doing lately. And regarding surgery, how I've been feeling, well, regarding surgery, how I'm feeling, I really want it. I'm just kind of nervous about like the time it takes to fall asleep. But right now I'm not really nervous. It's like my emotions just keep getting better and better towards it. And so yeah, and my biggest concern is the aftercare for surgery, because lately, last month, I've been having so many spontaneous orgasms. A lot. Because what happened is, it's like last month or so, I broke down, got a bunch of toys to help with it. And one of the toys I got, it's the Oh My Bod 3.0 original music vibrator, and the app that works with it, and a bunch of the other toys from that company. Works with the app. One of the functions of the app is you can track your orgasms in general. So all my orgasms together spontaneous and non-spontaneous orgasms together. What has happened last month was I checked, I had 422 orgasms and more than half of them were spontaneous. So I'm like, yeah. And I've also, because of all this, I've been wanting a partner to help with this. Even though I want more than that in with a partner. The thing is, how I've been feeling is, I'm having a hard time with the orgasm, especially like if I'm in public, because it's really hard to like not show it. But because like wearing masks and stuff right now with this virus, I can hide my facial expressions, but whenever I orgasm, my cheeks become really pink and flushed, like flushed and pink. So I can't really hide it there. So it's like, yeah. And the thing is, I've also been wanting to date, but with the virus, I'm really hesitant right now to date. And the thing is, when I'm out in public and everything, doing my thing, I always get men complimenting on me, hitting on me, interested and whatnot. And it's kind of frustrated because I hate people assuming I'm a straight cisgendered woman, which that's not the case. I identify as a lesbian with a fluid sexuality, and what that means to me is that I like women in general. It doesn't matter cisgender or transgender. Because women are women, and we are too, in a sense, for a lot of us trans women. And it doesn't matter if they're cisgender or transgender. And if she's trans, I prefer post-op, but if she's pre-op, I'm still okay with that. And on this side, the fluid part of the sexuality, the fluid part, I'm not attracted to trans men in any which way. But when it comes to cisgendered men, no dating relationships, no marriage, no nothing. It's only for sex, meaning penetrative sex, meaning being penetrated that way. I only like sex that way with men. But because my fluid sexuality can change where it's on this side with wanting sex that way with a guy, somewhere in the middle, or this side with women. And lately, for a while now, I've been only wanting women. And right now I really want women. And if she's cisgendered, twice please, that would help. And if she's trans and pre-op and not comfortable that way, then okay. But if she's post-op or not comfortable that way, toys will be fine. So that's kind of what I'm going through a little bit. And yeah. And I'm concerned about the aftercare because the spontaneous orgasms, how that can affect things. I talked to the doctor and she was saying, because the way they when they reroute everything for like the clitoris, how everything's attached, they put that above the clitoris, so it should be fine regarding to the orgasms. I don't want the orgasms to stop because I don't want them so much like I've been having lately. I want to continue to have them, but not as much, because when I have orgasms, they're all female, and when it's all female, I have no dysphoria compared to if it's male. Because if it's male, I get nothing out of it, and if it's female, I get everything out of it. And also regarding this, like hormone-wise, last week, I had blood work done and everything for my checkup, and my testosterone was too low. It was at 3. So the way I'm taking the estrogen injections, the estradiol injections, and the micronized progesterone, I'm taking 0.4 ml of the micronized progesterone, of the estrogen injections. And don't take this as medical advice. Talk to your doctor. Switching legs each week to a different leg And I usually switch from the lower part of the leg to the upper part so it doesn't get scar tissue. I just switch. Yeah, and I'm taking the micronized progesterone in the suppository route because, well, I slowly, about 4 months ago or so, I slowly started taking it in the suppository route because when you take in the suppository route, it bypasses the liver, and when it releases, it pumps like kind of like ovaries, how the ovaries pump and release the hormones. It does that, so it's more efficient. And when you take it at night, when you go to bed, that's when you should take it, at night when you go to bed, because you won't have to go to the bathroom and you won't flush it out. So when it releases, it's absorbing all night, and the next day it will continue to absorb. And it has a sedative effect, doing it the suppository route. And I notice for me, if I do it earlier, before I go to bed, around like 10 or so at night, before I go to bed, or earlier, the sedative effect actually works better than if I take it. If I end up falling asleep, then I wake up and take it, I end up having less issue, like more issues with sleep, trying to get back to sleep, because it takes a lot longer waiting for that to release. So yeah, so my suggestion, take it earlier, before, like when you go to bed, and don't go to bed really late. Yeah, so yeah. And something else that's come to mind, if you're pre-op trans, or you really want to have penetrative sex and you're pre-op and you're doing it that way with your partner, and you're the one being penetrated that way, being pre-op, I suggest have the sex first, then afterwards take the progesterone. That's my suggestion. If you have it at night, if you have sex at night before you go to bed, or when you go to bed or something like that, that's my suggestion regarding that, so you don't have issues there. So yeah, so take it afterwards, after you go and do your thing, pee and whatnot, clean up. Yeah, that's my suggestion regarding that. And how I've been feeling? Well, since not taking progesterone, bicalutamide, yeah, because taking the bicalutamide along with the estrogen progesterone, when I'm taking it, it's zeroed out my testosterone. So the doctor is saying that taking the progesterone, like the estrogen and progesterone, it's lowered my testosterone to the point where she feels I won't have to take a testosterone blocker anymore, and which is a good thing, because this happens in 30% of women, and I won't have to take a blocker anymore. So we'll see on that. And she was saying, I'm giving you the choice on your prescriptions, what you take regarding the blockers. So she's giving me the personal choice what I do with the blockers, what I take, or when I take it, or how it's going. And she wants me to not take it for about 6 months for my next appointment. And if I feel I need to get tested sooner, I can. And we'll get tested and see where my testosterone is. Hopefully it's in the low normal, I should say, because when it's in the low normal, I feel better. And yeah, so I'm not taking a testosterone blocker anymore for right now. And so far I'm feeling good. I don't feel like anything's reversed. I just feel like I've been gaining in other places, like my butt, the upper part of my butt. The upper part right here, I've noticed is becoming fuller. I've noticed the right side's fuller than the left side, but right now I'm feeling the left side doing some, like the muscle and whatnot, doing some developments. Yeah. From the way I've been using those muscles. So that's going, and I'm hopefully the sides fill into, like the sides through, sides right here. I'm hoping this fills in. But overall, my butt feels bigger, like fuller, I should say, which it's a good thing because I feel better when I have a bigger butt. Like it's fuller because I'm not sitting directly on the bone. Like when my butt was smaller before hormones, yeah, that was kind of uncomfortable, but even though I have muscle there, it's more fuller. And it feels like my body is more female, or everything's shaped. Especially this whole area through, from here to like, yeah, all of this. And the hips and everything feels and looks, yeah. Like when I sit down, when I go pee, or by myself doing my thing sexually, certain positions, I notice it's like, oh, it's all female filled in and the female range and everything. And my tummy, there's more in my tummy. And then I was like, last week when I was brushing my teeth before going to bed, I was standing there doing my thing. I was like, I looked in the mirror and noticed my butt was bigger. I'm like, wait a minute, my butt's fuller and bigger. I was like, oh. So I decided to weigh myself, and good news. When I got on the progesterone every day, I was on 100 milligrams for 3 months. I lost weight. I went from 124 pounds down to 116. And I struggled to gain the weight back. The 4th month, we decided to go back to 10 days a month. That didn't help. So when I asked her if I could be put on the 200 milligrams every day. And I just explained everything, and she did that. And since that, I gained 218. I struggled to gain the rest of the weight back. And since gaining the rest of the weight back, what happened was last week, I gained the last 6 pounds back. So now my weight range is back to 122 to 124 pounds, and I feel awesomely awesome with my weight, and I feel so much better health-wise. So yeah, so that's what's been going on lately. Yeah, it's a lot to go through and what I'm going through, so yeah. And last thing, if you want to see, this is pretty much what my breasts look like at 32 triple DF. A much fuller 32 triple DF. So, yeah. And, yeah, that's how my waist and everything looks and whatnot. So, yeah. Nothing else has really changed, except even though I'm taking the progesterone this way, it feels like my body's still having a female hormone cycle, like it's cycling. So back to its like normalness days. So until, yeah, so that's what we're going through. So until next time, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'm sorry these videos are so late. So until then, comment, rate, and subscribe, and